When things aren't going particularly well in the world of celebrity, what celebrity does is to decide to make sure that they then take the hold of the narrative. You get the picture. And what's interesting about the narrative with Meghan and Harry is the fact that literally it's now becoming pretty dire. The situation, say, with the wines is not taking off as well as they'd expected, and the jams, well, not really going anywhere. And Meghan is really battling away over on her social media campaign. And consequently, it's simply not taking off. So what you do, and this is what Meghan did previously, if you remember, she decided to team up with the A-lister Oscar-winning actress that's known as Gwyneth Paltrow. And the idea, as we know, was this chumming up to say, look, the nasty media, look at how bad they are. Women can get on together. There's always space at the table. And then, of course, Gwyneth had a slice of that pie and decided that she too was suddenly incredibly busy. But Meghan now has her eye on a couple of other people, and it's moving in this direction. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Lovely to have your company. Well, have a lovely wave. Nice to see you. It's difficult, as I said. The thing is, it proves very difficult simply because you have a problem. Right? How do you now sell the product? You've been around a while now. People know what you're going to do. And if you remember at the start of the year, Meghan was all about jam. Well, she told you jam was her thing, right? So everybody thought she might go down the preserve route. And then she did a massive U-turn by, of course, deciding to go into booze. And then she reduced the booze content. And so suddenly you're paying the same amount, but for less booze. This is not the way business works. The other situation that Meghan is literally moving forward with is trying to make a connection, trying to prove to the world that in fact sisterhood can work together. With this woman, Martha Stewart. Martha was, shall we say, less than, effusing. We'll use that word, shall we? She wasn't exactly effusive about Meghan Markle. Now, Meghan's team have reached out to Martha Stewart and basically sent a bag of goodies or collection or whatever. Perhaps she might get a pot of that jam. And the idea really is that they'd like Martha to meet up with Meghan to prove to her that actually, they can get on. There's room in the room for everybody. And, sort of a replication of the Gwyneth Paltrow idea. Oh yes, but it's not just Martha Stewart, and let's not forget, Martha Stewart does not come without a blemish programme. She has been inside, so again, it's a strange thing, isn't it, that you might want to think this is the way forward. Martha Stewart's from a different generation, and Meghan's supposed to be going for the Gen Z. However, behind the scenes, they've decided to do this. I told you recently how the template for the wine was based on none other than the pop superstar Kylie Minogue's version. Now, according to an excellent source, Kylie Minogue is now in receipt of some of Meghan's wine. Oh yes. Now, as you know, Kylie's built an incredible wine brand which sells very well and has excellent reviews. I've never tried it. I know Kylie from many, many years ago. Lovely lady, very down to earth, and works hard at pushing her own brand. No two ways about it. Here's where it gets interesting though. You see, Meghan would quite happily pose with a glass with Kylie Minogue's bottle of wine. But it's a bit of a standoff. Think, of course, OK Corral, that sort of stuff. Basically, they're waiting to see if Kylie Minogue or her team will pose with Meghan's wine, showing a little bit of sisterhood. Why would Kylie want to do this? Well, as I told you before, Prince Harry had something of a torch for Kylie way back when he was young. And of course, she's appeared at many, many royal events, including in front of His Majesty the King, and of course, the late Queen on many occasions. I remember way back in 1988, when she made her debut at the Royal Variety Performance, I was there, and she was singing a big hit, Made in Heaven. Oh yes, and that was the start of a long, long royal association. In fact, Kylie, the first person she met, in fact, was the late Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth. So you see, you can understand why Harry might think that Kylie might want to raise a glass, not just to his wife, but to her wine range. And as for Martha Stewart, well, it's, resoundingly very quiet. But they're optimistic that these two doyens, apparently, these two icons in the world's media, can work together and basically shut down the negative narrative about how the media simply don't want them to get on. Well, it worked very well with Gwyneth Paltrow, didn't it? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.